Welcome back to Annapolis. We've got the Navy men in action versus Queens University of Charlotte. You just saw the Navy parachute team, the Sky Goats, jumping from 4,500 feet, bringing the game ball for today's match. Team consists of midshipmen from the Naval Academy who compete in skydiving and execute parachute demonstrations like today's jump and other Navy sporting events. That first jumper you saw was Jason Lenning from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Number 2 jumper was Brody Boggs from South Webster, Ohio. Jumper number 3, Kevin Kuchik from Las Vegas, Nevada. And number 4 was Henry Borthwicker from Jonesboro, Tennessee. Fantastic job. We always are appreciative of the parachute team when they get the chance to come out here to Prospect. We've got lots of open fields, lots of open space for them to use, right? We want them coming out here, jumping in the game ball whenever we get the opportunity. Navy women just lost their match versus Dartmouth. Disappointing result for them. Lots of lessons to learn, though. You learn more from the defeats than you do from the victories sometimes. Today, definitely for the case, that was the case. Dartmouth, a tough squad coming in off of a NYRA runner-up performance last year. They're now 1-1. They beat Queens University of Charlotte last week by a score of 58-7. This week, now the men are in action against Queens up here in Annapolis. Beautiful day. Sun's out, pretty warm, a little bit humid. Wouldn't call it a scorcher necessary. If you're out here in June or July, then I'd start calling that a scorcher. This is just a little bit hot, not even hot for September. This is par for the course as we hang out on the backside of the Navy Golf Course, the Brigade Sports Complex, and the Prusmack Rugby Complex. Rugby Palooza out here this weekend. Navy JV men in action over on Malik 2, the field on the opposite side of the street. You can see that a little bit in the background. Queens University of Charlotte, the Royals, on the field right now, prepping for the game. Just waiting for the Navy men to come out. Full day of events. With the men's match, we're going to have the Royal Navy playing against the All-Marine team later this afternoon. Navy football in action over at Navy Marine Corps Stadium against the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Class of 2000, the class of the century, celebrating their 25th reunion. Love seeing a bunch of my classmates in the crowd. Navy women and men rugby alumni stopping by, saying hello. I'm Devin Smiley, the voice of Navy Rugby. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be kicking off here shortly in a few minutes. Looking forward to the men's home opener here at the Prusmack. Queens University of Charlotte coming into this match. They say they're a 1-1 record on their website, but they had 2 back-to-back games last weekend with a victory against tough University of Kentucky side. And looks like their second 15 had a loss against the University of Tennessee, losing big. Navy men jumping into regular season action. They had an exhibition match against the Royal Navy last weekend that they won 28-7. Looking to string together another victory against Queens. Queens, an NCR team, always up for a challenge, willing to come up for a game. Love having Queens University of Charlotte come up here to Annapolis for a match. A little bit of a back and forth. Up until last year, Queens in the Rugby East. This year, they switched conferences over to a NCR-specific conference. We're going to take a break here for the national anthem. Navy starting lineup at number 1, Aiden Bryan. Hooker, number 2, Ian Bullock. 3, Nanzo Nini. 4, Grant Goddard. 5, Austin Taylor, one of the co-captains for today and for the season. 6, Adam Mertens. 7, Aiden Gerber. 8, Trevor Gayron. 9, the other co-captain, Michael Streel. 10, Ronan Krieger. 11, A.J. Young. 12, Max Smith. 13, Drew Boblitz. 14, Nate Roberts. And number 15, Cade Williams. Queens set up on the right side of the pitch, Navy on the left. Trees moving around a little bit. Solid breeze coming in. Looks like right now it's coming from right to left. Queens starting with the breeze at their back, with the wind at their back today. In the mid-80s, nice and hot. Sun is out strong. Hope folks put their sunscreen on. Looking to get things started in Annapolis, a little bit of the lull before the storm. Refs getting set up for the match. Navy set up and ready for the restart. Queens, a nice tough opponent for Navy. Always a hard-nosed match between these two squads. Touch judges just getting finished set up. Special shout out to the Navy Rugby Alumni Association and the Parents Club for all the support they provide for Navy Rugby and Navy Women's Rugby, providing meals for both teams. earlier in the men's match, feeding Dartmouth and Navy women, and then feeding Queens, as well as the other JV sides. Just fantastic support from the Navy Rugby Parents Club. Incredibly thankful for that crew. We are underway here in Annapolis. Queens boots that deep. Krieger on the receipt. He immediately boots that out of play. Trying to get a little relief. Just about 5 meters, just over 5 meters on Navy's side of midfield. Roberts on the near side. Boblett's just inside him. Williams and Krieger in the backfield. That's an overthrow. Navy grabs into it, a little bit of a run into each other. They drop it straight back to Krieger. He boots it, hangs up a little bit in the air. Hits short, bounces sideways and out of bounds. Positive yardage for Navy. Wind going to be a factor for the day. Still line out 2 Queens over here. Jumper goes up, ball's in the air. Toss back. Hard hit, met right on the 22. All of Navy's defense back on their feet. That ball comes out to the right again. Double tackle by Navy. One of those efforts that Navy prides themselves on is just keeping the players involved in the play. They swing it back infield. Krieger. Line drive out to the right. That dribbles out right outside the 22. Great kick by Krieger, finding space just outside the 22, so not a 50-22 option. That'll be a line out to Queens. Again, Queens backed up right on their 22. Ref talking to the line judge. Right on the 22. They're marking right inside the 22, which that's where the confusion is. If the ball went out inside the 22, it would have been a line out to Navy for a 50-22. Looked like, at least from our position, that the ball bounced outside of the 22. And that's why Queens has the line out. Not straight the call. Navy with the defensive pressure on the line out. They're fast, getting up in the air, reaching all the way across. They contested it. And that line out was not straight. Scrum to Navy. First scrum of the match. Really excited to see what this scrum can do today. Good platform for Navy. Just applying some basic defensive pressure. They now have an opportunity with an attacking scrum right on the 22. Another fantastic crowd. Back-to-back pack stands for both the women and the men. That ball comes in, crouch bind set. Gayron at the back. Trail, Krieger. Smith with the carry on a short line. Makes some yardage, comes out wide, pass to Williams. AJ Young. Good strong carry. AJ, dynamic winger that they have out there. Nice strong tackle by Queens. Driving Mertens back. Maybe able to maintain possession. Navy ball carrier driven back. Looks like that was Goddard or Austin Taylor coming out to the left. Williams, short ball. Ian Bullock, hard running Bullock, chipped over the top from Krieger, bounces sideways. Queens does a good job grabbing that loose ball. Queens player down on the field, grabbing his hand. Looks like something's wrong with his hand right there. Clearance kick from Queens. Out of bounds, will reset. Taking a break here for the Queens player to get looked at. Looks like it's a front row sub. Tough injury for Queens, having to make a front row sub 6 minutes into the match. And a Navy line out, attacking line out right outside the 22. Navy sets up the maul. Queens attempts the sack. That ball is available. Smith, good strong carry from Smith. He's finally brought down. Striel gets it wide. Unini drops it backwards. Krieger kicks it off the deck. That lands in field, but that'll be a line out to Queens. Just a little bit of a break on the execution there from Navy. Queens with another line out. Side-to-side line outs, just exchanging set piece plays. Here in the first 10 minutes, both squads feeling each other out. Not straight the call again. Navy really applying pressure to that line out. Navy asks for the scrum. On those not straight lineouts, Navy has the option. They can choose to get the line out or to go for a scrum. They choose for the scrum this time. Both sides go straight down. Ref resets. Still be Navy's put in. We're in the 9th minute. Score still 0-0. Majority of the play on Queens' half of the field. Queens with the wind advantage, playing with wind at their back. Navy with the sun on their faces a little bit. Navy looking to stabilize. Ref blows it up again. Just a lot of movement in that scrum as soon as you have the set. Ref talking to both front rows, asking them to sort it out, trying to figure out what the issue is. Certainly from our vantage point, it just doesn't look like they're settling on the set. It's just a lot of movement for both scrums right after the set. Queens player pulls his head out. Navy given a free kick. They immediately put it into play. They get it out wide to A.J. Young. He runs through one. He's still going. He tries to offload it Williams drops over one, and he drops it down. Try, Navy, Cade Williams in the 10th minute. Fantastic attack off the free kick. Queens player pulls his head out of the scrum. Ref immediately awards a free kick to Navy. Navy taps it and immediately swings it out wide. A.J. Young gets that ball in his hands, gets through one tackle, and is able to somehow offload it to Kane Williams in support. Playing fullback today, leaps over the ruck and is able to drive in to touch it down in the corner. Krieger sets up for the conversion. Krieger's kick is up. Just wide. In the 10th minute, score is Navy 5, Queens 0. Queens getting ready for the restart. They boot it deep. Comes back to Krieger again. Another clearance out to the road. Almost the exact same spot. Rinse and repeat for Ronan Krieger. First tee out of California. Cyber major here at the academy. We'll have a line out to Queens, right outside the 50. Navy with the steal. Gayron gets it back, gets it over the top. Boblets. Williams, he's got a seam. He's through. He gets it on, not quite an offload. Doesn't go to hands. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, just off feet diving in to that ruck. Navy just got to be a little bit more careful and support. Queens with a kick. Attacking line out for Queens, right inside the 22, right at the 22. Queens goes long. They set up the maul outside. Navy stays at the front. Queens with a strong maul. They're marching it forward. Queens given the advantage. Navy collapses the maul. Navy penalized. Look to see if Queens goes to the corner again. Navy doing a good job of just staying on top of that ball, not letting Queens play quick. Expect another maul setup. Look to see if Navy contests this one or whether they stay on the ground to defend the maul. Navy with good success at the front of the maul. Queens changing things up to go to the back of the line out. And they're straight through. Just a well-worked play by Queens on that. Good set piece drawing Navy's line out defense forward. A little bit of trickery on that set piece. We've got a try to Queens. Game on. in the 15-minute. Got a tie score. Queens sets up for the conversion. Right on the 5-meter channel. That's up, and that bends through. Conversion is good for Queens. Queens takes the lead in the 15th minute. Navy 5, Queens 7. Navy sets up 2 or 3 back-to-back penalties, put Navy on the back foot. And Queens able to take advantage of it. That kick is deep, well into the 22. That kick goes long and deep. Good job by Krieger, getting back. He dances inside, he beats 1, beats 2. And that ball just goes into Queens' hand. Good hit by Unini. Navy fires flat pass, maybe a little bit forward. They get that through. Good job by Navy on the defense, getting back through. Nice hard tackle. Ref says, hey, that's legal, that's good. Both players getting really low. Williams with the ball, he catches it. He's immediately met, Navy in support. It's a great aerial contest there. Unini. Comes back, Krieger tricks it, and just slips through the hands as he traps that ball. Unlucky mistake by Krieger. It'll be a knock on and scrum to Queens. Big scrum for both teams here. Navy with the field position play in the first 10 minutes. Queens coming back in. Driven back and wheeled a little bit. It comes out to the left. Good tackle by Boblitz. He gets him right around the feet and he's able to bring him down. Comes nice and flat. Roberts with a tackle. Double tackle by the 2 Navy defenders. That ball comes out to the right. Tries to go through. Offload it. Good job with the offload. That tackle slips through. And they're given an advantage for the high tackle. And he loses it, but they're coming back for a high tackle penalty. Navy got to be careful about the discipline here. Queens looks like they'll opt for points. Similar. Oh, they won't. Kick for the sideline. That'll be another 5-meter scrum. See what Navy's line out defense here does. Queens did a good job setting up that last line out trick play. Short line out. We'll see what Queens does on this one. That's a loss forward. Merton steals it. Losing the feet. The call from the ref, penalty to Navy. You just got to be careful on that ruck play. Really difficult. Players going off their feet all over the place on both sides of the ball. Krieger steps up for the boot. Nice kick, but that rides the touch line. Goes out of bounds right outside the 22. Bullock with the throw. Maul formed. He's finally tackled. Not sure if the maul was called there. Queens attempted not to engage in the maul, but I think they end up doing it. Knock on the call, Navy with good kick chase. No other Queens players in sight. Gerber just unlucky that ball comes off his chest and comes forward. Scrum to Queens. Both teams coming down. Crouch bind set the call. Navy with an early push. Ref calls the free kick. Roberts with a tackle. Good job. That comes out. Navy with a pressure. Queen setting up for the kick. Crossfield in the center. Krieger. Unini with a tackle. He gets forward. Maybe spins it wide to the left. Smith. Somehow Williams catches that. He tips it to himself, so that's not a forward pass. Boblitz is on his horse. And that's the penalty. Great job by Navy's kick chase. They tap and go. Ref does not let the quick tap go. Well, fantastic job by Williams, somehow tapping that ball to himself and then kicking it forward. Boblitz on his horse on the kick chase. Smartly waits till the Queens player gets on his feet, then tackles him. Gerber immediately over the ball. Navy forced into an early sub with the young coming off. I mean, a little bit of a high ankle sprain, something going on with the ankle there. Jack Skidmore coming in. Skidmore, the junior, coming in. Ref calling for the hydration break right at the 24th minute. Both sides forced into early subs here in Annapolis. Queens swapping out a locker front row in the first 5 minutes. Now Navy forced to make a sub in their back line. A.J. Young, the winger, coming off. Jack Skidmore coming in. Navy with a line out. Good attacking platform. Expected a maul to go in here. Does it actually call? They do the shift on the maul. That kind of breaks free a little bit. They're held up short of the line. Is the maul still formed? Somehow Navy continues to form that maul. It finally comes down. Looks like there might be a penalty try coming. Expect to see a card, looking for the ref to come over. That is yellow card showing to Queens. Penalty try awarded, try Navy. In the 24th minute, Navy forms the maul after the line out. It's tough to see exactly what happened. I think ultimately the ref adjudged that Queens player illegally collapsed the maul to prevent them from scoring a try. A little bit of a cynical play, so Queens player shown a yellow card. They'll be playing a man down for the next 10 minutes. Navy retakes the lead, 12-7. Another long kick from Queens. Booted equally as long from Krieger. Queens line out. Navy and Gerber ends up taking that and stealing that. Comes back deep for Krieger. Booming kick high in the sky. Boblets is underneath. Neither player necessarily wants to come up. Queens penalized for playing the man off the ball. Just an absolutely skyscraper of a kick from Krieger. Boblets and Mertens underneath it. That ball hits the ground. Navy player taken out before he can even go up for the ball and catch it. Penalty to Navy. Krieger points for the posts. And they're looking for the kick. And the points. Krieger's kick is up, but no good. Krieger with a rare miss. That'll be a 22-meter drop for Queens. Williams underneath it. Queens penalized for a little bit of obstruction. Navy's player not getting out of the way on the return of the kick. Navy gotta be careful. Both teams exchanging a little bit of penalties. Queens line out. "28 minutes into the match. Tight contest in Annapolis. Slapped down by both sides. Hard to tell if that was a line out. I think it came off of a Queens hand. Queens player stays upright. Bullock comes flying in. They come off again. They kick through. That comes to Williams. Roberts. Navy support gets through. Max loses that ball forward. Good hard-hitting contest on both sides. Smith just loses the handle and that ball comes forward. It'll be a scrum to Queens. About 7 minutes left on the yellow card. Queens down to 14 men. Yellow card shown on Navy's second try, penalty try, collapsing them all. Air flanker will be off for another 6-7 minutes. A little bit of a crab there, comes back in. Space out wide for Queens. Navy happy to let them dance back inside. Queens offense with a big run up. Things get a little topsy-turvy in the ruck. Comes out the back. Oh, let's see. Unini's rides up high. They come weak side again. And that's lost forward. Smith boots it. Bullock's on the chase. It goes sideways across. Queens winger does a good job. Get that ball in hand. Quicks it back. Williams is right there. Bullock rolled, not held in the tackle. Lot of movement happening there. Knock on adjudged. Bullock tried to put that ball down and pick it up, but just knocks it on. Be a scrum to Queens. Navy looking to play really adventurously with that ball in hand. Looking for the offloads. Queen scrum. Crouch bind, set the call. I put in, shoots to the back. Good step by the 9. Good tackle by Max Smith. That ball comes forward. Just goes wide from Boblets. Ref comes back for the knock on. It'll be a scrum down to Navy. Scrum down to Navy. Front row of Brian, Bullock, and Unini getting set. Good, quick view. A little bit of a twist of that scrum. Ref wants to reset and have a word with both front rows. Ultimately results in just a reset of the line out. That ball's put in. Navy penalized for boring there or not driving straight. Navy upset. Queens points for the post. Looking for the points, make this a one-score game. It still is a one-score game, but trying to close it down to a 2-point match. Smart play by Queens, burn some more time off the clock. They coming out in the yellow card battle. Doing well, not giving up any points even though they've been down one player. Navy looking for the long game, trying to tire out this Queen squad. warm mid-80s day. Both squads trying to take in some water. That kicks up. That's short. That ball is live. Smith spins out, dances inside of another one. He's able to get that ball out. Streel. Williams. He's got space. He goes through. He still gets through again. He's still staying up. He finally is brought down. Streel gets it out to the right. Aiden Taylor. Most of the Queens back line was offsides, but not seen by the ref. Krieger puts it down on the boot, brings the grubber through. Line out. 2 Queens inside their own 22. Krieger making the smart play, seeing if their wingers can chase. And since the chase didn't work, nice position kick to put the pressure on Queens defense. Queens setting up for the line out. That's tipped backwards by Gerber. Gayron catches it, spins out. Still going, keeps the feet moving. It's finally brought down. Comes out wide. Smith keeps those feet chugging. And Navy penalized, calling it 2 moves. Max Smith tackled and tries to dive forward. Just gets a little over-eager, and Navy penalized on that one. Just about 5 minutes left in the match. Not in the match, but in the half. That boot goes out of bounds. And that'll be a Queens line out. Big pressure reliever for Queens there. Navy has to be smart that close to the try line. Great line break. Just a little bit of goal line fever. Patience the key in this first half. Not straight the call on the line out, so ref brings it back for the scrum to Navy. Navy will want to get their scrum sorted out. Make sure they're pushing straight. The ball comes out. Queens attempted to sack. Krieger. Just out of reach for Boblets. Mertens backing him up right there, just not able to pull that ball in. Both squads back at full strength. Roberts, the winger on the near side. Krieger backing him up. Williams on the opposite side, deep. Navy marching Queens back. Queens able to get that ball out. Williams somehow able to get that ball out, but Navy penalized. Playing the ball on the ground. Queens kicks that out of the bound. They get another attacking platform that quickly. Field position changes. Navy with a penalty just a few minutes ago right on the try line as they're going in. Now they're defending their own try line. Expect Queens to maul it here. Let's see what they do. Navy got to be on the lookout for some trickery in that set piece. That ball comes forward. Bullock able to get that ball. Navy really aggressive in their offload game. Hopefully they realized that they had the advantage, the knock-on advantage of that. And that's why they were just being a little bit adventurous. Navy with a scrum. Scrum's not, of late, not quite going to plan for Navy. At least one penalty against Navy in the scrum for boring in. Last scrum, positive from Navy. Good push on the defensive scrum. Navy with a put in on this one. That's half. Ref's clock not quite matching the clock on the field. Navy goes into the locker room with the slim lead, 12-7. Pretty back and forth, very physical match. Both sides with some possession in the other's half. Have to say, Navy with a little bit of the field position advantage, but not the points to show for it. Navy's going to need to settle down here in the second half to really start applying the pressure. Pretty standard tactics for Navy, though. Looking to really drive through 60 minutes and start applying pressure. Beautiful day. Rain is holding off. Rain in the forecast right now scheduled or forecasted for 4 p.m. this afternoon. Hopefully that holds off a little bit more so we can get that Royal Navy All-Marine match out with any wet weather. Navy will be playing with the winds at their back in the second half and the sun at their backs as well. So definitely looking to send some kicks up in the air, take advantage of the sun being in the face for Queens as well as the wind. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. Joining you for the second half here for Navy Midshipmen versus Queens University of Charlotte. Score 12-7. We're back here in Annapolis for the start of the second half between the Naval Academy Midshipmen, Queens University of Charlotte Royals. 40 minutes left and a lot to play for. Nice tight match, 5 points the difference between the Midshipmen and the Royals. Navy on the right in their gold kit, the Royals on the left in their blue. Navy kicking off, they have the wind and the sun at their backs for the second half. Back and forth match in that first half. Just a little bit of discipline let down on both sides. Majority of those points coming off of mistakes. Royals with their first points off of a few consecutive penalties. We're underway. Cade Williams boots it deep into the backfield. Looks like that's staying on the pitch. Krieger dances inside one. He's got some space. He's got a seam. He dances inside. Krieger, huge solo effort. Ronan Krieger, try in the 41st minute. What a slicing run. He catches that ball on the fly. Hot knife through butter. Just a great line from Krieger. He's got that hesitation and then that step, and he just kind of exploded through. Queens just kind of lulled into a little bit of complacency on that kick right off the start of the second half. And Krieger just ruthless running through on that line. Those points are good. Navy leads in the 41st minute, 19-7. Queens looking to reset and consolidate. Nice high kick. Taylor does a good job getting up for that ball. Navy just settling it down. Straight back to Krieger. He boots that long, well overhead, drops down right into the Queens fullback's hand. He brings it up. Schriel. Good job there by Navy getting their support in. That ball just hits the ground low at Unini's feet. Knocked on. And that'll be the scrum down to the Royals. Restart. Navy pushing a little bit back. That ball comes out. Mertens able to maintain pressure of that. Smith goes right into the basket. He boots it. Queens back nice and high. That's bobbled, but he's able to pull that ball in. Now they're up and under. Space back there. Bullock, he takes it wide. Good job by Bullock there, getting that ball in play, keeping it in play. Good job with those offloads. Some space. And that's Boblets in for the try. Navy back-to-back scores, 2 minutes apart. Great job with those support lines. Navy just pausing just a little bit when those runners are coming through. Perfect positions for those quick, short offloads, and Queens just not able to collapse their defense in on those narrow runners. Fantastic job by Navy keeping that ball alive, getting that ball bounced up off the deck and into the hands of the on-rushing runners. Boblett's the leading try scorer for Navy in his history. That kicks us up, and it's good by Krieger. 2 quick converted tries on the board for Navy, and they are now up 26-7. Queens players screaming for physicality, wanting to amp up the intensity here. Navy eager for the challenge as well. Right to Krieger again. He gets that long, just out of bounds. That is just about as perfect a kick as you can get it from that clearance position. Putting the Royals in their own territory. They do get the line out. Navy pretty successful on their defensive lineouts. They do a good job about getting players up in the air and contesting that lineout. Just super quick. Nice tip backwards by Mertens. Smith reaching way up high and getting that ball. Krieger, or Boblitz, Williams. Boblitz there quickly in support. Striel comes out to the left. Krieger. Just off the leg. Navy resetting on defense. Comes out to the left. Flat pass to the prop. Double tackle by Navy. That comes out to the left again. Navy's line speed coming up. Good job, and he loses it forward. Tackle off the ball is the play, or is the call. Penalty against Navy. Queens with a strong kicker. They are able to take advantage of these penalties and get that ball upfield. Playing with the wind in their face a little bit, so let's see how this works out for them. Not sure if that's what kind of factored into that restart in the second half. First kick for them into the wind. Have to wonder if they just had a question of how to handle it, left it into the wind a little bit. Wind pushed it back into the field of play, and Navy was able to take advantage of it. That kick does go to touch. It'll be a line out to Queens. Queens able to get that line out. Maul is formed. Navy's Maul defense looking to step up. Finally driving back. Queens keeping the ball in. Haven't seen a stop called. And that collapses. Navy able to tie up the ball in that Maul, and they get possession. Hard to see what happened from our angle. That Maul was on the opposite side of the field. Queens brought that ball into the Maul. Just looks like Navy was able to tie that ball up. It goes to the ground. Navy just stays on top of it. Ref blows it up. Scrum down to Navy. Navy still backed up in their end, looking for an exit. Pretty even in the scrums, maybe with a little bit more of the go forward on those scrums. Comes over. Krieger with a boot right down the middle. He finds some grass, jumps up, pops up perfectly for Queens. And Boblitz lets that tackle slide up high. That's 2 in a row. Navy's got to be careful here. That's 2 high tackles in a row. And Navy is shown the yellow card. That's Goddard for Navy. In the 49th minute, Grant Goddard shown the yellow card for 2 high tackles. Just got to work really hard to keep those low. Queens opting for the scrum. Interesting. Well, I guess, yeah, someone from the sideline just yelled it out, but Queens not confident in their line out, opting for the scrum. Think they can maintain possession by choosing for the scrum. They're getting pushed back a little bit in the scrum, too. Let's see how the scrum turns out. Queens just not happy with how their line out is going. Ref blows it up, brings it up. Ref having some words with the front rows again about the bind. Wanting to see something looked like he was talking about a little bit of the long bind for the props. Some of the dark arts in the scrum for sure. Props with bind and hand position, who's pulling who down, who's holding each other up. Navy with the pushback. And that gets travel sideways. Navy with a push. Ref resets it. Has to be demoralizing for Queens. They can't get the line outs. Scrums are not going their way. Navy happy to play with the ball in the scrum. Definitely looking to take advantage of their conditioning. Crouch bind set the call. There's the hit on the set. That ball comes out quickly. And he breaks through. That ball goes through. Will they be able? And wow, what a play by Queens. Try to Queens. Grubber up ahead, and he's able to race through and touch that ball down. Number of Queens players down on the field. They really expended some energy on that one. Navy just disappointed with how that played out. A little bit of a gap, maybe a half gap there in their defensive line. Smith goes through for the tap tackle, just doesn't work out for him. And the Royals inside center is through in the 52nd minute. Navy circled around underneath the post, looking to consolidate their defense. That kick is up, and it's good. In the 53rd minute, Navy 26, Queens 14. Queens able to take advantage of the man advantage. Navy quick to restart it. That goes backwards, that's tap backwards. Navy looking to up the tempo, deep into the pocket. Queens looks to kick it. Williams, Krieger. He pooch kicks it over. Where will that hit the ground? That kind of bounces through. Is he going to sit up? And that's touchdown. That'll be a goal line drop for the Royals. Not a lot of subs or changes made by Navy yet, aside from the one kick or the one sub out on the wing. Pretty much the starting 15 out there. Expect to see the bomb squad come out there, and We ran into this situation earlier this morning in the women's game. That drop kick goes straight out of bounds, and yes, it's a scrum down to Navy at the 5 meter. Yeah, it was an interesting play this morning. Dartmouth had a goal line drop. They kick it straight out of bounds, and then Navy, unfortunately, rather than a scrum right on the 5 meter, they get the line out right on the 22. Navy with the put in. Navy earns the penalty there. Not releasing the ball. Navy chooses a scrum. Navy goes back to the well with a scrum, really looking to take advantage of the set piece. That ball comes back. Another penalty called. A little bit of miscommunication on the Navy side. That scrum just completely loses the ball. Streel's back there. I don't know if it was that someone pulled out of the scrum early. Not sure exactly what the call is, but Navy with an earned scrum penalty. Navy asks for a scrum again, just trying to apply more and more pressure to Queens. Could be that they're trying to draw a yellow card, just repeated infringements by the Royals. Navy hoping they can draw the yellow card for repeated infringements, play a little bit even strength. Navy unfortunate with that scrum. That did not go to plan. Smith tackled. The ball comes out. Bullock. Navy in support. Krieger spots a line. He gets through. And Krieger scores his second of the day. Ronan Krieger, try, 58th minute. Score, Navy. Just pressure upon pressure for Navy, looking to apply the pressure. Not quite in the 60th minute. Still have about 2 minutes left in the yellow card. Navy able to score points while down a man. Have to be happy with that effort and those points. Just relentless with the pressure. Quite a bit calmer. Coach Gavin Hickey preparing to make the sub. Number 17, Max Buono. Looks like he's getting ready to come in. Krieger's kick is up and good. In the 59th minute, Navy 33, Queens 14. Krieger converts his own try. Navy coming up to the line. They made at least one, or excuse me, Queens coming up to the line. Looks like 2 subs in, 3 subs in. Nice shallow kick. Good job by Taylor getting up in the air. Great job. Couldn't tell who that was on the lift, but just marching him downfield. Krieger with another boot. That pops up. Queens ball carrying support. Navy looking to stay connected. Smith diving back. That kick in the backfield. Krieger has it go backwards. He's got some time. They boot it deep. It goes behind. A little bit of sun in the eyes maybe for the scrum half there on the Royal side. kick tennis happening. Williams. And you can see there one of the Queens players just standing in the middle of the field right in front of the ref. The ref turns around, looks at him, and now the rule is you have to make an effort to retreat. If you don't, then you're going to get penalized, and that's exactly what happens to Queens there. Maybe on that penalty kicks, 2-touch, it'll be their line out. Krieger, in terms of tries last season, relatively quiet season. He only scored 2 tries all last season. Krieger with 2 tries just on the day today. Obviously a very prolific kicker. Lots of points coming off of Krieger's boot. Great line out. Maul set and formed. They're just marching over. That collapses. Easy advantage to Navy. Comes straight back. Krieger. That ball comes off and just goes out of bounds. Ref comes back for the penalty advantage. Krieger just lead shoes when he kicks that ball. Just boots that ball downfield. Navy being ruthless with the points, just getting that scoreboard pressure ticking over. Getting the points, looking for the points, looking for opportunities to score. Krieger steps up. A little bit of a honk from the bus trying to set him off, but Krieger's oblivious. He splits the uprights. That penalty kick is good. In the 62nd minute, Krieger with a penalty kick. Score 36-14. Mertens goes up, grabs that ball. Generally, those restarts incredibly tricky for Navy. And in general, for anyone. Williams gets that ball. He boots it downfield. Royals fullback in position. They get it wide. He steps outside of one tackle from ball blitz. That's picked up. Navy back at full strength. Nice hit off the line by Mertens. That's charged down by Navy. Off the belly, but judged to be a knock-on. Just unlucky by Navy. Just a smart play, not trying to put your hands on it. Just kind of bouncing it off the hip forward. Scrum down to the Royals. Navy makes a sub with Cade Williams coming off the bench. Streel shifting back into the backfield. Sean Donahue coming in at scrum half. Navy really putting pressure on that scrum, driving the Royals back, but that ball does come out for the Royals. They boot it. Streel dances outside of one. He's held on, though. That comes loose. Just a little bit of a flub there. Krieger's running backwards to get into that. That sits up for him. He boots it backwards. Fullback in position. He chip kicks it. Smith steps through one. Dances through another one. Oh, a little bit high, awkward tackle. Streel. Line drive across the field. Finds some grass. Keeps on going. Skidmore's on his horse. He's got some speed. He just misses. But Navy's able to tackle that. Navy defenders trying to flood over by that ball. Bullock comes up a little bit gimpy. Bullock takes a knee. Fantastic appreciation for our athletic trainers across all the teams, helping us out, taking care of the players, making sure they're well looked out for. Caitlin Novak, Navy trainer, with a bow on her hair on the field. Navy looking to make the sub. Bullock coming out. Daniel Cebulski onto the field, getting his first minutes of the season in this match. Navy setting up for the line out. Great job by Taylor getting that ball. Maul is formed. Pretty significant offside, but Navy able to keep that maul moving. Stopped once, ball comes out. Donahue. Smith dances through one. Just held. Ref immediately blows up the ball. Not sure. I guess there's a penalty. Losing feet maybe. In from the side, perhaps. Queen's making a sub. Goes straight up. Krieger tries to tap that back in bounds unsuccessfully. Line out to Queens. Just under 13 minutes left in the match. Navy's got another sub warming up, getting ready to come in. Looks like it's number 20, Tanner Call. That ball's not straight, but Navy's able to get that ball. Enters is also in the match. He gets brought down. Uses his momentum to keep that going. Smith over the top to Skidmore. Skidmore just into touch. Good speed by both players. The call comes in. Taylor coming out. Royals line out. That practically goes straight to Gerber. Navy steals that line out. Just Queens just not having much in terms of anything, in terms of success on those lineouts. Streel somehow able to stay on his feet. Donahue. That ball goes loose to Enters. He's tackled. Comes out. Call. That tackle slips over the shoulder. Donahue brings it straight back. Krieger boots it across field. That pops up. Navy with 2 players in on that tackle, just hard tackling. Box kick right on the 22. And that goes out of bounds. Line out to Navy. A little bit of sloppy play there from Navy. They're looking to improve the services they're asking for. Just some of that ball coming off out of the scrum and out of the rucks. It's not quite where they expect it and they want it to be. Unini with a great job getting that ball in hand somehow. Smith. Call. Good back and forth play for the midshipman. Out to the right. Streel boots it across. Just pushing it deep. Queen's doing a good job on defense covering the space, even knowing that Navy's looking for that space in behind. Navy able to pin the Royals back in their end. 10 minutes left in the match. Navy's up 36-14. Queens, a pretty perennial powerhouse for NCR. Navy competing in CRAA D1A. So 2 different divisions of rugby, if you will. Until last year, both these teams were in the same conference, the Rugby East. Just changed last year. Krieger somehow able to keep a hand on that ball, but just goes through the dead ball. Just becomes dead, and that'll be scrum. To Queens. Queens given the option. Either a 22 or a 22-meter drop. Nope, it is a scrum to the Royals. Queens stuck still at their 22. Queens offense spread out across the field. Good put in. Good push by Navy. Queens able to maintain possession of it. Good step. Good defense. Navy's defense stays dialed in over there. Looks like Queens is setting up for pick and go. And a knock-on is called. Queens player really took a hard hit, that fullback, on that contact. Just got rocked backwards, looked like his head hit the ground. He stays in the game. Royals with a knock-on, and Queens turns the ball over. Navy with a scrum. Important minutes for the Navy subs coming onto the pitch. Finishers really looking to build experience, gain exposure to the high level of play and the intensity at this level. Navy returning a number of starters from last year's squad. That ball comes out to the left. Krieger. He gets it inside. Donahue. He's not held in the tackle, and he gets it down. Try Navy, Sean Donahue in the 74th minute. Just a good job. Krieger able to get that stiff arm. He's getting driven out of bounds. He's able to offload it to Donahue on the fantastic support line. Just the kind of line you want to see from the scrum half. Donahue somehow able to kind of escape those tackles, stay on his feet, and punch that ball down and score that try. Donahue's first try at the varsity level. Sophomore youngster out of Long Island. Krieger boots it. Can he draw it back in? And that's good. What a draw. Put that man on the golf course. Perfectly pulls that ball back so it goes over that right post. The conversion is good. Navy 43, Queens 14. Maybe making another sub. Went on for Nonzo Unini. Enters, able to haul that ball in. Donahue brings it straight back. Streel. That bounces off him, and he, unfortunate mistake for Queens there. Doesn't catch that ball, tries to tap it backwards. Unfortunately, that ball or the player hits the line, and that'll be a line out to Navy, right on their side of the midfield line. Krieger with 21 points on the day. 2 tries, a number of conversions, and a penalty kick to his name. Navy with a good job getting that ball. It's not quite straight, but offside's the call. That ball comes off of Merton's face, unfortunately. Just running that good dummy line, that hard line down, trying to pull in the Queens defenders. Offside was the call, though, so it'll be a penalty to Navy. That boot from Krieger goes into touch. We'll have a line out to Navy, just about 15 meters out from the try line. Navy forms the maul. A little bit of bouncing around on that ball, but they're somehow able to keep possession of it, maintain it, keep that maul moving forward. Distributes out to the right. Call. It's through one. Navy looking to reset quickly again. Buono. That ball comes down. Not sure if the maul was called. I don't think so. Nope, there's the ball. It's presentable. Smith. He stands one up. Able to get the ball to ground. Maybe looking to bring in their forwards and get some pick and goes. Get forward through run, inching closer on the line. Looking for close combat there. Lost forward is the call. Knock on going into the try zone. Unfortunate for Navy. They just lose it trying to get in there. It'll be a 5-meter scrum to the Royals. That scrum collapses. Referee sets it. Just under a minute left in the match. Navy leads 43-14. Penalty given to Navy. I don't know, it's just been a little bit hard for Navy. They've been trying to set on that scrum, and it just doesn't seem like they're ever really getting stable on the hit, on the set. Clock is stopped while Queens attends to one of their front rowers. If I were a betting man, it would look like Navy's setting up for another scrum. Royals forced to make a change. It's their sub coming off. Loose head prop coming back into the match. Similar situation happened in the women's game. First one being a tactical sub. If you have an injury, the earlier tactical sub can come back on to play. One of those exceptions in rugby when a sub can come back on. Navy does get the scrum. Comes out, Streel. Oh, beautiful tip pass by Krieger. Try, Boblets. Just a great job. Kind of taking that pressure with that beautiful push pass, quick hands, bringing it across. And Boblets just running a fantastic line. No one open in front of him, and he has a clear run-in the 81st minute. Boblets himself with 2 tries on the day. Krieger boots that up, and that's straight through the posts. There will be time for a restart. Looks like the clock on the ref's wrist does not quite say 80 minutes. So in the 80th minute, Boblet scores. Krieger's conversion is good. Navy 50, Queens 14. Navy just ruthless and identity for who they are. They want to play 80 plus minutes. They want to keep the game going. They view it. Great job by Navy just applying pressure on that kick chase. Gerber penalized. Quick tap by Queens. Good job by Cebulski on that tackle. Smith, fantastic. Cebulski somehow gets it. And Navy loses that ball forward. That is the game. Navy with the first home victory of the season, 50-0 over Queens University of Charlotte. Fantastic match today by the men. Good first run and hit out. Just a very professional performance, taking opportunities to put the points on the board, keeping it relatively close. Only a 5-point game or so into the first half. At the end of the first half, Navy able to put up 30-plus points in that second half. Krieger and Boblets with 2 scores apiece. Otherwise, story of the day, set pieces, very much for Navy and Krieger's boot. He gets about 23 points on the day. Fantastic job here in Annapolis. If you're local, folks, come on out to the Prosmac. We've got the Royal Navy playing against the All-Marine team here. Coming up next in about 15 minutes. That will not be live streamed, but if you're close, come on down. It'll be a fantastic match. Love seeing the Marines play against the Royal Navy. It'll be a fantastic match. I'm heading over for my 25th reunion, spend some time with my classmates. So I will not be sticking around, but typically love to hang out here on the rugby pitch. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Devin Smiley, voice of Navy Rugby. We will see you soon. Have a great day.